Bitcoin is at just over $68,000. The election decision is literally days away. If Donald Trump wins, do the markets completely pump and go crazy and we see Bitcoin run to all-time highs? If Kamala wins, do the markets dump and everyone panic sells? We're going to find out soon. But first, let me show you the presidential suite of the St. Regis in Dubai. This is absolutely awesome. It is so nice. I just wanted to show this to you guys. So we're starting out here. Look at the views here. So we have the old Atlantis Hotel here on the Palm, and over here, where is it? There, we have the new one, the Atlantis Royale. That is also a super, super luxury hotel. So you got these views here. The views are crazy. Then we start out with this crazy living room, dining room combination. Massively spacious. Everything is crazy furnished. Like the details here, we have like marble everywhere. It's super nice. You have, look at the detail on the ceiling. Like the quality of the material is crazy. So we have this view over here that I just showed you. It goes all around. It's super, super nice. So it's basically 270 degrees, this whole area. So we have this view over here. Then over here, we have the view of the marina. You can see over here, you got all the yachts over here, and we got the Ferris wheel thing. It's a little bit foggy, so the visibility isn't too great, but look at that view, guys. That's absolutely insane. So we got that on this side, and then like look at this, even the shelf with all the items on it. It's pretty amazing to see, and I just want to show you guys this because it's just really incredible. So if you ever get the chance to go to Dubai and stay in the St. Regis on the Palm and get the presidential suite, it is incredibly worth it. Look at this, super nice. And then we got this other living room section. It's got the desk over here from which I will be doing the rest of this video when we dive into the charts in a second and I actually talk about Bitcoin. For now, I just want to show this to you guys. So look at this, you get a coffee machine, unlimited coffee, waters, whatever you want. You have a private butler, of course, that you can call any time of the day or night if you have any requests. It is just super, super wow. So we still have this view over here with the Atlantis over here. It goes all the way to the end of the Palm. And then we have this side also. So like I said, it was 270 degrees. We had the marina on the other side. We have the Atlantis this side. And here, you can see there's also some yachts and boats over there. And you can see just over the top, over here is the Burj Al Arab. The visibility isn't that great. I can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera, but it is over there. So we got this beautiful section over here. And then, of course, we also still have the bedroom with the beautiful view over here. It's crazy. There's 3 TVs in this place. That's crazy. I never even watch TV. Never turn them on. But they're there if you want them. Look at this view, guys. Like, this is, like, pretty crazy. And then, yeah, of course, the bathroom. Super nice also. Very nice finish. All super nice materials. Marble everywhere. So that was the room tour. Again, if you have the chance and you ever come here to stay in the presidential suite in the St. Regis in the Palm, look at this. The views alone make this worth it. So enough about that, guys. I'm going to dive straight into the charts. I'm going to set up my computer here and we are going to dive into that. I'm going to share with you what we could potentially be looking at with the election results. I do expect a lot of volatility here in the next week, and that could actually go both ways. I'm going to tell you what is potentially possible for both scenarios so you can be as prepared as possible. All right, so now it's time to dive into the computer. Let me share with you what I'm looking at for the month of November. So you can see Bitcoin is trading at $68,300. This is the monthly chart to start out with over here. And what's important to note, I think just of significance, is still that the previous high of the last cycle for the monthly close over here has still been support. Yes, there's wicks above it in the previous cycle and a few wicks below it, but what we've seen now is still that the price got above here in March and April, new all-time highs. It pulled back, but it stayed above this level, right? Which is very, very key, because as long as it's above that level, then we're still in the chance of continuation here for this entire cycle. And as I've shared before in different videos, is that the fact that we could be making a bull flag over here, meaning that we have potentially just broken out here. I made that comparison already in the previous video, so I'm not going to do it again, between gold that had this exact same setup and basically Bitcoin that is potentially here having the same setup. So that's still important to note, and that's basically key. So this $58,000 level, as long as the price of Bitcoin is above there, we could still continue higher, and it's likely that the odds favor upside continuation rather than any sort of pullback at this point in time. So let's start out with the Bitcoin monthly returns, because the month of October has just closed. It's a couple of days ago. We are now in November. So we had October close at 10.76%. So October was once again green, perfectly in line with the average returns for October. It's always on average typically been more green than red, and that's once again the case. Now, what is also important to notice, I shared this in the last update at the beginning of October too, is that every single time in the last 10 years that we had a green September, we had a green October, November, and December. It happened in 2015, it happened in 2016, it happened in 2023, and now we had a green September once again in 2024. We had a green October, so that pattern is still on track so far. And if that repeats again, we'll be looking at a green November and December. Historically also, we are now in an election year. So we look at the previous election years. 2016 was green for September, October, November, and December. If we're looking at 2020, we had a green October, November, and December. And now we're in 2024. The elections are just around the corner, literally a couple of days. We had a green October. Are we going to get a green November and December? Obviously, only time is going to tell, but this data in multiple ways favors bullish and green continuation here in November and December. You can also see, if we look at the monthly candles here, that we have had a green September and October, and this looks like a bullish pattern. Like I've shared with you before with the bull flag potential. Also, we had 7 months of sideways consolidation since March. So all of that, in my opinion, favors upside continuation. And like I said, we follow an if-then framework. So as long as Bitcoin is above the 50-week moving average, which lines up with that $58,000 level. What I showed you here is also the monthly chart, but if we zoom down into the weekly over here and we add the 50-week moving average, you can see that perfectly lines up with that same level, 58.5. So in my opinion, that is the line in the sand. That is where we do not want to see Bitcoin get below. If we get a weekly close below the 50-week moving average, then it's likely that the bull trend could be over and that we could be in for a new bear trend. The data historically favors that. Once again, I'm not going to go into that and repeat myself there. If you go back and look at the chart, every time that we've had a weekly close below the 50-week moving average, it's resulted in 50% drops, more than 50%, and usually also the entire bear markets in 2018, 2022. So we have to be very careful of this 50-week moving average, this level of about 58.5. If we get below here where this green arrow is, that is when the bull trend comes into question. Now, as you can see, this candle, this is a weekly candle, and it is not looking too hot at this point in time, but there is still some time left for this candle to close, so we don't know yet for sure. I would say if this candle closes like this ahead of the election results, there is potential for us to have a bit of a scare and a bit of a retest here potentially of this 50-week moving average, which would be a $10,000 drop on Bitcoin. That is possible. Imagine that Kamala wins. I think the markets are pricing in a Trump win. So if Kamala wins the elections and becomes the US president, that could cause a panic in the stock markets that are already technically vulnerable, and maybe get some sort of initial scare, and maybe we have a quick sell-off into that level. It would flush out a lot of the greed and a lot of the longs who are now basically positioning themselves here for this breakout to the upside, right? they are all betting on that upside. It does look like that could happen, but with this election result, if we get something that the markets doesn't like, what if we go down first? All those longs that are positioned here, they get liquidated or they forced to sell lower. And technically, this doesn't change the picture. It could go to 58 if it holds there and then continues back up. That would be a pretty crazy result, which would still be good for the markets overall, for the crypto markets. But the people who are leveraged longs waiting for a breakout at this point in time, they could be in for a nasty surprise if that happens. Of course, a $10,000 drop if the market has a lot of fear based on those election results. That's a potential scenario. And in that case, I would be prepared for it, and I would be looking to long as close to that 50-week moving average as possible, because it is the best risk reward. If we drop there, that is the most likely place for it to bounce. If it holds and maybe it runs back up to 85,000 or 95,000 or maybe even over $100,000, from there you got yourself a massive entry with a pretty easy to identify invalidation. If it continues below there, if it gets a weekly close below, that's the time to cut that position. So if we get this set up, that is what I would be prepared for. Now, there is also, of course, the chance that we just continue straight up. What if Donald Trump wins the elections and once again becomes president of the United States? Well, maybe it just continues to rip up. I think that would be very favorable for the markets, as that's probably what markets are expecting at this point, for Trump to win. And if he wins, they probably have a favorable outlook on the markets, on the economy, good for the stock market, etc. And we are in this position where we are in this bull flag. So technically, we could also break out. So that's the point here. It could literally go in both directions depending on who's going to win the elections in the short term. In the longer term, I think either way, we are still bullish unless we get a new weekly close below 58. So even if we do get a bit of a scare, even if Kamala wins and we drop to 58, that would probably be pretty bad for the altcoins. The altcoins would probably take a big hit. We'd see a lot of fear in the market, but that could still give us a really good opportunity to long Bitcoin and crypto for the continuation of the cycle. And if Donald Trump wins and it just goes straight up from here, well, then hopefully you're already positioned for that also. The main thing to take away from this is that there is that potential for a 10 or a 20% drop in Bitcoin and potentially 30, 40, 50% in altcoins, which you need to be prepared for. If you're well within your risk management, right, and you're not over leveraged, and you even have spare capital to buy the dip, if we do get this, that is the best position to be in. You don't want to be in a position where you're over leveraged, even if it's with spot. If you put in more than you can afford to lose and the markets drop 20, 30, 40%, it's going to be very uneasy and stressful. Also, if you're in a position where you're over leveraged, which you should never be, you could get liquidated. And if you're in a position where you don't have spare cash to buy the dip, it's not the worst case, but it would be nice that if we get that dip and we do go to 58,000, that you have some cash to load up on your favorite positions. That is what I would be looking to do, and that is how I'm looking to play this. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. By the way, do you like this style of video where I show a little bit when I travel and nice hotel rooms and stuff like that? If you want more of that, let me know. I'd be happy to include it from time to time. This room is absolutely fabulous and I'm going to enjoy it as much as I can. The views, the coffees, the butler service, I highly recommend it. And if you want to join my VIP membership, I'm doubling the price in December this year. So in a month from now, the price is going up permanently by double. So right now you can still save 50%. The link is in the description down below. You will get access to everything I've ever created about crypto, about trading and investing, all my courses, all my training. You get access to me personally inside my Discord, as well as more than 2,800 members inside there. And that's where I share literally every single day charts, analysis, updates, my own trade ideas for crypto, for Forex. I've added a ton of bonuses and features to VIP that have never before been added. So all of that is in the description down below. If you click the link, everything is explained there. Also, there's a 60-day unconditional money back guarantee. So literally you can sign up, you can get access to everything. If you don't like it, within 60 days, email support, you can get a full refund. But next month, I'm permanently doubling the price. And even that is going to be way too cheap for what I offer. I mean, like, it's crazy. You can see some of the testimonials. People are making thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars. learning, changing their lives from everything that's in there. And I'm so confident. I've been doing this for years, right? I know what I've created. That's why I'm willing to give the unconditional refund guarantee. I don't think there's anyone really in the industry that gives this much information, this much value and knowledge, and is willing to give you a full unconditional refund guarantee. But the price is doubling in December. Click the link in the description down below if you want to check it out.